Out of bounds by Maurice Douglas after a turn of 35, and the Cowboys will take over from there with Reggie Collier at quarterback. His first NFL start, and the defense that he faces is awesome. Hampton, McMichael, William Perry, and Richard Dent up front. The linebackers, none better. Wilson, Singletary in the middle, and Wilbur Marshall. And the secondary, Richardson and the rookie Vesti Jackson, the cornerbacks, Duerson and Finsick. And the Bears show them 8 up front in a hurry. Tony Hill wide left. Sherrard is the flanker, and now Sherrard is the man in motion. Reggie Collier to Tony Dorsett. Back to the line of scrimmage. No game. Steve McMichael. A Pro Bowl year for him. Here's the Dallas offense then. Collier the quarterback. Dorsett and Walker together. Tony Hill and Mike Sherrard the wide receivers. In front, Mark Tuinei at left tackle. Titans are next to him. Rafferty the center. Kerr and Posderick on the right side, and Doug Cosby the tight end. Hill wide left. Sherrard up top. Now he moves backwards. Walker and Dorsett behind Collier. This is Walker. A yard behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Richard Dent, the first man to hit him.
I'll tell you, they've run 2 plays, and they ran right at the fridge both times. They've weighed him this week. Every time they've weighed him, number 72, he weighed over 350 pounds. There's no way Titanosaurus is going to get any movement on him, and there's no way the back gets any more movement when he runs into him.
That's frightening.
I'd like to say, well, get up there, break the huddle, and you got to block this guy right here, and we're going to run right in behind you. You have to move him backwards.
Newsom now comes into the Dallas backfield, and Collier goes back in the shotgun. Remember, he can really run. And will. Chased by Duerson and taken down by Duerson after a gain of 6, shy of the first down, and Saxon will come on.
Reggie Collier said yesterday, I don't go back thinking run. He said, I'm going to look for the first receiver, then the second receiver, and if by that time I don't see him, then I'm going to take off.
Saxon, that's the book on him for this year. And Lou Barnes, dangerous, back for the Bears, number 81. Watching Saxon in practice, he didn't kick a ball for less than 55 yards. He was really in top-flight form. Well, he has now. Barnes at the 21. Down quickly. Victor Scott, just activated, was the first man down. Sorry. But Victor had broken his hand in a game earlier against Denver, and he didn't appear on the roster. But that's who was there. 38-yard punt, no return. First down, Bears. Flutie, the quarterback. Galt wide right. Walter Payton left side fumble. Dallas has it. Rod Fellows.
You know, last night talking to Mike Ditka, he says 2 things we have to eliminate going into these playoffs are our turnovers and penalties. He said in the last part of the season, he said we've had way too many of those. He said I'd like to go into those games, to this game today, and come out with no turnovers and very few penalties.
Payton was hit by Bates. He's shaken up just a bit. Fellows did come up with the recovery. And Walter Payton helped to the sidelines. One of the few times you'll ever see that.
Well, you know, they had the same problem on Monday night against the Lions. They were coming off the goal line, and Payton had a fumble there.
Dallas has it, 1st and 10 at the Chicago 26. No score yet. Fred Wyant is the referee.
Wonder if they're checking the replay on this. I think they must be, whether it was down or knee was down or ground caused a fumble or whatever.
It looked as if the ball flew out while Peyton was still upright. Peyton leaving for the locker room. Perhaps for x-rays, perhaps for medical attention. The call stands. It is 1st and 10 Cowboys at the Bear 27. With pressure from Otis Wilson, and everybody else throws it away in the direction of Walker. But they got no one blocked. It was Hampton and Otis Wilson chasing Reggie Collier.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, Pat, that the Pro Bowl came out. The Bears have 7 players on the Pro Bowl this year, but those guys that just made that play, Otis Wilson and Dan Hampton, were 2 of the players that weren't on the Pro Bowl. And I've always felt that they're 2 of the best defensive players in the league.
It would be hard to leave them off any all-pro team, both of them.
I think when Otis Wilson blitzes, he's as good as any other linebacker, maybe than Lawrence Taylor.
2nd and 10. Cowboys operating from the Bear 27. Bears change their defense. Walker started in motion. Dent jumped offside. He points now at Walker, but I think Walker's okay with his movement. Dent is not.
Well, Walker can go in motion as long as he doesn't go forward.
Obviously, we're having trouble with the transmission from the referee.
You know, Herschel Walker's the up back here. Now, you see, he starts forward, then he goes laterally. I'm not sure about that one.
The Bears selected to the Pro Bowl this year: Peyton, Singletary, Covert, Duerson, Hilgenberg, Marshall, and Steve McMichael. But you could almost pick them all on that defensive unit.
Yeah, I mean, you always tend to, defend the guys that didn't get there, but that's true in any all-pro team.
2nd and 5. Misplay. Collier dropped on it. He missed the handoff. Out of the pack comes Otis Wilson. Now they're saying Collier didn't get it and the Bears do have it. And I'm still not sure.
I think that's the Bears' ball, Pat. They recovered the fumble. The fans are booing, but I didn't see the official point that it was the Bears' ball.
Collier missed the handoff, then dropped on it, but apparently didn't recover it cleanly.
There was going to be a handoff to Herschel Walker. The ball hit him on the hip. Collier went down to get it, but look, you can see right there, it was Otis Wilson, the guy who ended up with it. And then he fumbled it. They called it dead there where Otis Wilson had contact.
Bears ball, 1st and 10, Flutie back to throw. As time goes deep, looking for Ortego. Incomplete, out of bounds. Everson Walls right with him.
One thing you always talk about Doug Flutie's size, mostly about his height, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a strong arm. Doug Flutie does have a strong arm.
Flutie with his first NFL start. Collier with his. Flutie with the plays taped to his left arm, some of them at least. I'd like to welcome those of you who watched the Redskins come from behind to beat the Eagles to Texas Stadium, where the score here is 0-0. Pat Summerall, John Madden. Doug Flutie is the quarterback on 2nd down. He's going to throw a screen to Sanders. Sanders cut down and he fumbles. Cowboys grabbing and wrestling, can't come up with it. The ball's still loose, and the Cowboys ultimately do come up with it. Ron Fellows again. Hegman made the hit that knocked it loose.
Jay Hilgenberg is in it there with Jeff Rohr. Hilgenberg had Rohr by the face mask with his broken left hand. Hilgenberg was in position to recover that fumble, but he has a broken hand and a cast on his left hand. He couldn't get it. Watch it right at the end here. See the fumble out of the Cowboys there. Now watch 63 Hilgenberg come in. He got the cast on his hand. He couldn't pick it up. So the Cowboys come up with it on the 20-yard line. And Hilgenberg gets in a fight with the casted hand.
He's got the good hand loose so he can swing if he needs to.
Yeah, they both had a hold of each other's face mask. Like hook against hook.
Reggie Collier back to throw up into the pocket, and off he goes. Collier has the ball stripped away from him, and it looks like the Bears have it back. Oh, this Wilson in the middle of that.
This is an unbelievable start to a fumble ball. Well, I'll tell you, that frustrates both coaches. We're going for a record here, I think, in the early part of the game. I mean, one team gets it, fumbles, the other team gets it, fumbles it back. Other guys get it, they fumble. Ball stripped, guys with cast. Watch him. There's one strip that doesn't get him. Singletary's coming from behind, Dewerson in front. And, of course, the strip was Dan Hampton, big 99. I'll tell you, that guy makes a lot of big plays.
Hampton.
Sure does. He's all over the place. Good pass rusher, strong against the run, and a good stripper.
That's good to know. 1st and 10. The Bears now with the ball at their own 16. And Flutie gives back to Sanders. And Sanders maybe got 2. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Flutie gazing over to the sideline, getting the signals from Tomczak.
Isn't this something bad? We haven't even played 4 minutes yet. We've had 4 turnovers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a fumble per minute. If it keeps going, that we'll have like 60 fumbles.
That, I think, would be an unofficial record.
That is. It's going on. The record is, it's in danger.
Neil Anderson and Matt Suey are the 2 runners behind Flutie. Those of you who just joined us, St. Louis beat Tampa Bay 21-17. That means the Buccaneers will get the first-round draft when it comes up next spring, and, of course, that all points to Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, and last year it pointed to
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, and he ended up playing baseball, so I don't think that means that much.
A long year for St. Louis and for Tampa Bay. Luke Barnes in the game, split down at the bottom of your picture. Cowboys showing blitz. They're going after Flutie. Pate's coming, and Flutie just fires to the green. Right now for an NFL update. Back to New York, here is Brent Busberger.
All right, Pat, the playoff situation clarifying in the AFC. Kansas City is in the playoffs. 3 special teams touchdowns, including this 97-yard kickoff return against Pittsburgh. There is 1 spot now open. It'll be either Cincinnati or New England, depending on tomorrow night. Back to Pat Summerall.
It is 0-0 at Texas Stadium. The Bears punting. Back deep, Gordon Banks. For Dallas. A flag goes down, an illegal block in the back or above the waist or whatever is usually called. 52-yard punt by Buford.
And it's going to be on Neil Anderson or against him. They blocked him in the back. Mike Ditka said he thinks he's the best special teams player in the league this year. Always the first guy down. He was the first guy down, and they did this to him. He starts out on the right side. Now watch him. Here he is. He's the first guy down. Now watch him right there. He got it right there, that little push in the back.
Manny Hendricks, number 45 in the back. Mike Ditka and the Bear organization really upset that, of course, as you were saying before, John, that Neil Anderson was not one of those picked for the Pro Bowl as a special team specialist, because he's been spectacular. He's really been something.
He says not only the plays he's made, but it's the kind of thing where he fires up the rest of the guys, too.
Tony Hill split wide to the left. It is Reggie Collier at quarterback for the Cowboys. He goes back to throw, and Kenny's chase, green pass outside Dorsett with room. Dorsett up for a first down out of bounds at about the Bear 44, knocked out of bounds by Singletary and Bestie Jackson.
I think Tony Dorsett is probably the best back that ever ran a screen pass in football. in the history of the game, I can see him running this screen to the left point where he just gets out there, lets his lineman get out in front of him, gets that dump over, and then hits that thing in the open field. Tony Dorsett's been doing that for 10 years for this team, and I don't think anyone has ever done it better.
I think the statistics kept over the years on that, the screen pass would certainly back up what you say. First down, Dallas. Their own 43. No scores yet. Gerard in motion. That's Herschel Walker. There's a penalty marker down on the right side of the field already. Steve McMichael tripped him up. No gain. Walter Payton coming back on the field, the other number 34. Sweetness. Singletary, you probably saw him telling Freddie Wyant, we want to refuse that, and they do. Second down.
I wonder if his mic doesn't work or if he's just forgetting to turn it on.
I don't know. Surely not after 16 weeks. Cleveland 47, San Diego 17. The Browns will have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs as long as they continue to win. Second and 10. 8 men up front again for the Bears. Collier back to throw, and again a penalty marker down. Intended Walker, picked off by Wilbur Marshall. Marshall tackled by Cosby, but a flag is down. They'll have to wait.
I'll tell you, there's the guy. Don Shula told me in the offseason, and he thinks Wilbur Marshall was the most valuable player of last year's Bear defense. He said he can do so many things. He said he can play the run. He said he can rush the passer. And he said he can cover guys like wide receivers and tight end, man-to-man from the line of scrimmage.
Plus, he's got some explosion when he hits you.
He can uncoil like no one I've ever seen. But on that play there, I mean, he was man-to-man or Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, of course, being one of the fastest guys in the league.
They played against each other many times when Wilbur was at Florida and Herschel was at Georgia. Suey and Sanders behind Flutie. Reitman in motion. Flutie, reverse coming to Willie Gault. Of course, he's got that great speed, and Gault down into Dallas territory, down to the 41, a gain of 12. For an NFL update, let's again go to Brent Busberger in New York.
Pat, more on that AFC playoff picture. Cincinnati buries the Jets today. Boomer Esiason, 5 touchdown passes. The Bengals will be in the playoffs if Miami beats New England. If not, and New England wins, they will go in. Seattle was knocked out this afternoon. Back to Pat.
And as time passes, the playoff picture becomes a little bit clearer. Brent just told you about those possibilities. Reitman again in motion. Flutie gives to Suey. Ducked underneath Randy White and picked up 4. Jeff Rohr made the stop. No score in a game so far that's been nothing but turnovers.
You know, it's interesting, Pat, that last week Doug Flutie was saying he had trouble with the signals. So after a while, he asked him, please send the plays in. Now, today I noticed that after a play, he's walking over to the bench and getting the play firsthand.
There's the list of plays on his wrist. Handoff to Sanders, left side. Not much doing. A gain of 2 again. Walter Payton, by the way, Randy White made this. Now, Walter Payton back on the sideline, has a bruised shoulder and should be able to return. Flutie checking with the sideline again.
Well, that's what he's doing. See, instead of getting that signal all the way, he's walking over closer to the sideline in case he has a question. Then he has the plays on the wrist. So he has all these ways to communicate. He said that's the toughest thing that he's having is getting the plays and getting them called.
3rd and 5. Flutie out of the shotgun. Flag down. Cowboys offside. Dennis Gentry gets the first down for the Bears down to the Cowboy 27-yard line. Michael Downs knocked him out of bounds. A gain of 10. They'll probably keep the play and forget the penalty. Against Dallas. declined. Nothing but turnovers so far. Total plays, Chicago 10, 2 turnovers. Dallas 9 plays, 3 turnovers, 5 already.
And then we've had penalties, and the referee's mic doesn't work. This is really a sloppy first quarter. Stuff's not working good.
That's Flutie back to throw. This time he does have time. He overthrows Willie Goff. Ball really took off as he rolled left. Like he tried to take something off the throw, and it started to float.
Yeah, I tell you, he is an impressive guy, though. You know, I mean, he has something Mike Ditka talks about. So you don't know what it is. I mean, that winning attitude, the charisma, the leadership. I mean, it's hard to really put a definition on it, but this guy has it. And, you know, last night we were talking to him, when he came in the room, you kind of get that feeling that, I mean, it's kind of like Santa Claus or someone, the Easter Bunny. You just kind of like him.
One of those guys you want to sit next to.
Yeah, right.
Reitman went in motion. Flutie fired. Reitman is the man at about the 1. Downs finally took him out of bounds, but it'll be first and goal Bears at the Cowboy 1.
But I think that's the thing Mike Ditka likes about Flutie. We see Reitman here go in motion. Now, Flutie had to buy a little time on this. You see Reitman is coming down, going out. Flutie's scrambling now. Reitman keeps working to the outside. That much just finds an opening in there. And Flutie, in scrambling, bought the time that he could get it to Reitman.
It is first and goal at the 1 for the Bears. The Super Bowl champions trying to improve their record to 14-2, and Peyton is back in the game and deep. This could be a record-tying touchdown. He doesn't make it. Jeff Rohr, number 50, was the first man to hit him. An assist to Ed Jones, number 72.
One thing, we don't see the refrigerator up there anymore. Remember, this is a situation where last year the fridge would come in and block for Walter Payton. Now he doesn't even get next to Ditka. He's kind of in the back there. See, he knows it's a weight thing. And he knows his weight this year, instead of going down, has gone up during the season. So he doesn't even stand there. He knows he's not going in there.
Second and goal at the 1. Peyton and Suey. Behind Flutie. Peyton again. Touchdown. That's the final score. Minnesota beat New Orleans 33-17. 2 first-year coaches. Both of them finishing, I think, on an upbeat frame of mind. Welcome to Texas Stadium, where Walter Payton has just scored. The Bears lead the Cowboys 6-0 with 6:05 left in the first quarter. That's that record-tying touchdown I talked about a minute ago. That ties Jim Brown's all-time NFL touchdown record. Kevin Butler to try the extra point. Steve Fuller holding. 7-0 Chicago. 6:05 left to play in the first quarter. Peyton got the touchdown. A first quarter that has been nothing but turnovers and breaks and fumbles and penalties. 6:05 remaining. It is 7-0 at Texas Stadium. The Bears lead the Cowboys. 8 plays. They went 53 yards. They kept it 3 minutes, 8 seconds. And Walter Payton scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. The Bears 7, Dallas 0. Kevin Butler set to kick off. Deep for Dallas, Robert Levette and Darryl Quack. There's Walter Payton. What a great man and what a great career.
I tell you, and you wonder, you know, I mean, the amazing thing about it is not only what he accomplished, but he's been there every week. The guy is indestructible.
It's going to be Levette at the 5. Chase and down. Sean Gale, number 23, after a return of 12.
You know, the big play on this drive is this one, Pat, where you see Flutie's going to go back and hit Tim Reitman. But the big thing that he does is when he gets back here, he stops. Then he makes a little move, and that let Reitman get open down here. Now, he bought the time, Now watch, we see the motion come across. Now, right here, he's not open. Now he steps up a couple more things, and here's Reitman down here in the bottom, wide open, and that got the ball down to the 1-yard line.
And Payton took it in from there. Reggie Collier back for Dallas. Gets it outside Sherrard, and Sherrard enough for a first down in front of Vesty Jackson. Another of the bright and upcoming stars, number 86.
Well, there's a rookie versus a rookie. Vesty Jackson being a rookie. See, he slipped a little, and Sherrard gave him a good move and then just came back with a hook.
Gain of 14, Mike Sherrard. Boy, they have high hopes for him.
Well, he's one of, the Cowboys on offense added a lot of speed to their team. This is one guy, and of course, Herschel Walker being the other guy.
Walker is the guy split wide to the right this time. Newsom and Dorsett are in the backfield. The handoff is to Dorsett. Got a couple of blocks and got good yardage. Steve McMichael tripped him up after a gain of 7. Herschel Walker got the key block out front.
You see one guy that's always in on those Bear tackles is Gary Fensick. I think that's one of the things that makes this Bear defense so good is they have the 3 linebackers that are good linebackers. Then they have 2 safeties, Gary Fensick and Dave Duerson, that give them like 2 more linebackers. In fact, they call them mini linebackers.
But they can still cover the receiver.
And they just get all over the field. You know, they'll get up there in the middle. Fensick's coming up right now. They'll get right up there and get in that 0-1 hole right over the center.
That 8 men up front look 3 deep. Collier took too long, and the flags come flying.
Cross start, 75.
Bill Pozderick is number 75 as the referee's mic is starting to work.
Look at it right here. Here's Gary Fensick here. They bring their safeties up, and he plays right here in the middle like a middle linebacker. So they have a linebacker here, linebacker here, regular linebackers, plus this guy. So they play an 8-man front. That's what they talk about. There's 8 guys up there, and that's tough to run against.
And the way it's been the last couple of years, it's tough to do anything against.
Remember last year, we did 5 Bear games, and we never saw a touchdown scored against them.
Collier picked out to Dorsett behind him. Nevertheless, they get 5 yards out of it before Fensick trips up number 33.
You see the fridge running down there. The ball was a little behind Dorsett, and then behind the ball was the fridge running right down the line of scrimmage. Dorsett was going to cut back, and he made a look there, and he went, watch him, here's 72. Watch him coming down the line. Now watch Dorsett look in there. He was going to cut to the inside there. He said, I better get by that 72 first. Then he made the cut.
Probably thought that was a thunderstorm.
An avalanche is coming. Well, they called Dorsett Hawkeye.
Short yardage, 3rd down 2. They give the ball to Walker. And he will not get the first down. Richard Dent shut it off.
Hey, I don't know where they're going to spot this one, but it didn't look like he had the first down. Going to be 4th down. Cowboys won't go for it here this early in the game. This thing, they're going to run into the top of the screen there. You know, everyone's a little too high. You see that Cowboy line? See 75 come flying out of there? They're too high. You can't, the offensive line can't play short yardage high. You have to get lower than the defense. That time, the Bear defense whipped the Cowboy offense right on the line of scrimmage.
Saxon is a dandy. Lou Barnes back deep. He's going to let it roll, and it takes a Cowboy bounce. And they pick it up. Do the Bears. Lou Barnes, after he let it go over his head, came out of there with it. The Cowboys thought they would down it. Garth Jacks finally knocked him down, but he got the Bears out of a very deep hole. A 52-yard punt by Saxon, a 22-yard return, so they only net 30. The 39th bowl appearance for Alabama, more than any other team. Payton back in the backfield with Calvin Thomas this time. Bears leading 7-0. So Ortego in motion. Flutie back to throw. Up into the pocket. Deep for Ortego. Covered by Everson Walls and covered well.
I'll tell you, Flutie looks calm, though, doesn't he?
He does.
Now, he's coming over. You see, he's walking over to get a closer look at those signals again. Now he looks at his left wrist. See, he has all the plays written down there. Now he's checking them again. See, now he's going to get in the huddle and call the play right off the wrist. Instead out of the head, you call it off the wrist. He's reading it, as a matter of fact.
Years ago, I remember Tom Matty when he was forced to play quarterback for the Baltimore Colts, doing that against Green Bay. He was very effective. 2nd and 10. Flutie jumps underneath Ed Jones. Chased by Kevin Brooks. Knocked out of bounds by Jim Jeffcoat. First sack of Flutie.
Well, he made Too Tall miss. Watch the first guy here. Watch Too Tall. Well, he's already by him. But he faked him out. But he couldn't get away. He couldn't find anyone open downfield. Watch what happens to Too Tall's always been tough to throw over. You know, watch him. He jumps up in the air. Flutie puts it up, brings it back down, then gets out to the right side. Of course, he couldn't get away from Kevin Brooks, who just tapped him out of bounds.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 17. Ball at the Bear 26. Flutie chased again. Out of the pocket again. Got away from Randy White, but cut down by John Smirek.
You know, one thing I felt watching the Bears Monday night against Detroit is that they got away from their run for some reason. And I have the same feeling now. They got that drive. They have the best running team in the NFL and the best defense. And those two things can win it for them. And I thought last week that maybe they went to the pass a little too much.
Buford back to punt. Hanks back deep for the Cowboys. Should have a chance with this one. Not much of a chance. Reggie Phillips was there as soon as he made the catch. Cowboys looked as if they had some blockers back there, but nothing worked out, and it's 7-0 Bears. The defending champion Super Bowl winners, the Chicago Bears, 7-0 over Dallas. Cowboys have it 1st and 10 at their own 39. 1:16 left to play in the first quarter. Dorsett and Walker behind Reggie Collier. Outside Sherrard, no blockers. He gets up to the 45, 44, call it out of bounds there by Vesti Jackson, trying to set up the wide receiver screen, and the blockers just couldn't get out there in time.
And they were trying to get their left guard, Titensor and Rafferty, out. Looked like a bad play all the way. They're trying to get their left guard and center out, but it also looked like the ball was deflected. In fact, right there, you see it goes right through Dent's hand. So Sherrard still gets it. There comes Titensor. He finally gets a block, but Rafferty didn't get out there. 2nd and 4 then. Sherrard split wide to the right. Tony Hill to the left. Bears look like they're coming with a bunch. Collier firing deep. Incomplete to Sherrard. This guy is a heck of an athlete. The Raiders lead the Colts 10-3 in the first quarter. Well, you know, when he went to college, Southern Mississippi, he said when he came out of there, he wanted everyone to know he's a quarterback. He runs the 40 and 4.5. That's like backs and receivers and defensive backs. But he said, I'm not a receiver. I'm not a defensive back. I'm a quarterback. He went to the USFL because they guaranteed him he'd be quarterback. And he finally came here to Dallas after that went down, and they also told him that he would be a quarterback here. Although he's the 3rd quarterback, and that's a tough position. Frustrating. 3rd down. And 4 at the 45. Back he goes. Away from everybody, and down he goes. Chased by Wilbur Marshall and William Perry.
Otis Wilson.
I'll tell you, Otis Wilson made a great play there. I mean, you talk about big and agile. Watch this guy. He gets him, misses him, spins around. Watch him right there. Watch him. He gets him, spins around, he gets out of it. Watch, he just did a spin, then he got right up and got him again.
And his buddy Wilbur Marshall was there to help out.
But for a guy that weighs 232 pounds that can do that, I mean, get in a spin and then get down and spin off the ground and then spin back up and make a tackle, that's a pretty good play.
Saxon back to punt. Barnes back deep. Punt by Saxon. Barnes will take it at his own 32. Away from one. It's got a wall. Cut down. Todd Fowler made the hit that brought Barnes down when it looked like he had something set up. 43-yard punt. A return of 8. And it's still 7-0 Bears. That shot of Texas Stadium, the house with the hole in the roof, from the Slice blimp, piloted by John Robinson.
No. John Robinson?
Right.
He was coaching Friday in San Francisco, and now he's blimping on
Versatile.
Sunday?
Versatile.
Nah.
Walter Payton is the lone setback behind Doug Flutie. The Bears go with 3 wide receivers, one of whom is Neil Anderson. With he in motion and Payton the ball carrier for 3. Hegman on the stop.
Here we were talking earlier, there's kind of been a sloppy first quarter. Let's look what's happened here. There's been 4 fumbles, 1 interception, so that's 5 turnovers. There's been 3 penalties accepted and 3 more that weren't, so that's 6 penalties and 5 turnovers in 1 quarter of football.
That gets us to the end of 1 quarter of football, and the score is the Bears 7, the Dallas Cowboys nothing. The Bears